Kia ora, kia ora. We are back. It's been 2 weeks. No mai hoki mai e te whānau. Happy Diwali, and yeah, get the rust out of me. Thank you for joining us tonight. Now, as I kind of mentioned last week, we had off. I was going to try and do some live streams, but we just got so stuck into making our websites, and there was nothing that I could stop and do that kind of showed you what I was doing. It was a lot of frantic learning and going back and forward and redoing things because I'd figured out a better way to do it, or I figured out there was more that we could do to help enhance the website. So I just thought tonight would be a good night to share some of those insights, some of the things I've learned, and so that if you ever are designing your own website, you can use some of these things that I've learned to help you. Now, where are we? So, going to run through a number of things. I'm going to show you stuff as well. So, I've kind of organized my whakaaro into a list, and hopefully it doesn't take too long. I'm hoping about 30-45 minutes, and we should go through everything. But please feel free to ask Pātai if you have any. Kia ora, Julia. Thank you for chickening in. It means I know that the stream's working. Yeah, so website. Had a really good time, and after a full week, our website's still not fully done. And that's because at the moment, because we've got so many products that we want to list on there. We've got over 150 different products, and all of them require posting up, listing, creating text for the description of the product, posting up photos. Now we've got all the photos. We don't have the text for everything. Some of them we don't even have prices for. We got to figure that out, and stuff like that, as well as yeah, just ensuring that all of our products have the right information and can be purchased, and all of that stuff's working. So firstly is text, your copy, the text that you have on the website. One thing that we learned is to be really clear about what it is that we're selling. Kia ora, Cheryl and Danielle, thank you for chickening in. Yeah, we sell Lego wall mounts, so mounts for Lego products. Because it's an accessory and we have to show what product it's an accessory for, lots of people think that we sell Lego just because they see the Lego. Now, that's a problem on Trade Me too. Well, not lots of people, but occasionally we get people thinking that we sell the Lego and think that we do it for quite cheap. So we've had to be really clear. Now, initially on the website, I had like a banner saying display Lego your way or something like that, or display it your way, and so one thing I found out is to share the site with people who aren't intimately familiar with what you actually do. So I was able to share it with a number of work colleagues who looked at it and then gave feedback. And just from the feedback, wasn't actually the feedback that they were giving about the site, because everyone was going, oh yeah, it looks lovely. But people who were asking what kind of Lego we sold and stuff like that. So I could tell that it wasn't clear exactly what it was that we actually sell. So yeah, actually, I should bring up the website. So we changed it, and this is what we changed it to. So 3D printed wall mounts for your Lego. just really, really simple kind of banner, instead of the, I think something, it was a bit more emotive and a bit more kind of, it was a better to say it, but it just didn't make it clear exactly what we sold, especially because you can't even see them, or can hardly see the mount here. You just see the Lego. So that was one thing. Text, making it really, really clear what you sell. Okay. So yeah, having those people that weren't super familiar with what we did, figuring out what was their immediate reaction. Was the language clear and easy to understand? Yeah. So all of that really helped. Now we used a bunch of AI to help with some of the text, but we used AI more for a couple of things that that we did next, and that's our next point, is policies. So there we go. So this is a website I came across. I'm going to paste it in the chat. Okay. What are the policies that you actually need to provide on a web store? Okay. And so, thank you, little chatbot. Okay. So according to this, there's 3 key e-commerce legal documents: business terms and conditions, a website terms of use, and a privacy policy. Okay. There's more that you can add, including you should always have like a refund policy that can sit in the business terms and conditions, or your website terms of use. Okay. Customer complaints and stuff like that. So there's other things that you can have, and depending on the website or the service you use to host your website, you might have to put that in multiple places. So not just on the website, but actually in the store, when people go to click that they approve or create an account, they approve those terms of services, the stuff we'd never read. So what did I do to help? I went to Google AI Studio. Okay, and I could have gone to ChatGPT or Copilot or Perplexity or any other thing, but just this is free to use and it's pretty good. So what did I do? I have got a bit here, so I'm not going to type it out, but this is just an example. I'm going to paste that in and just said, I'm starting a website to sell custom-made resin jewelry in New Zealand. This includes earrings and necklaces. I'm only selling in New Zealand and not internationally. I'm shipping directly to customers, and they can choose from items in stock or buy an unstocked item and wait until it is made. I also offer a custom option where a customer can have me make their design. I will be using Shopify to sell and manage payments. Can you help me make these policies? Make the policies I need for my website that comply with New Zealand law and the Consumer Guarantees Act. Ask me questions until you have enough information to complete this task. And let's see what it does. So a couple of things there, making sure that it looked at complying with New Zealand law and the Consumer Guarantees Act, that it and that I gave it a bit of information, not too much, but then I asked it to ask questions so that it could fulfill all of that stuff. And it's come back with a bunch of questions. Okay, shipping policy. Do you have a flat rate shipping? Okay, which service do you use? Delivery times, tracking, packaging, rural, returns, change of mind. So it's asking for a lot of this data. So even if you were going to write it yourself, you'd still have to ask these questions. So it was a great way to kind of ensure that I was asking the right questions. Another thing that I've done in the past, and what you could do, is actually go to other people's websites that might be competition, or another website that is a New Zealand kind of online retailer. They might not be a competition of yours, but they might be a similar type of business or similar size, and have a look at their policies and embellish or like mimic them. Take take what you like of them. But with any AI, and I've said this before, ensure you check it, okay? Because it can have inaccuracies. So, yeah, answer all of these questions, and then it can create a raft of policies for you. Really, really handy, really easy and quick way to do it, but something that you can check and come back and review, because it can take a long time to do this. Once you've actually done the website and everything, come back and review your policies and have another good look once you've got a fresh mind. Because especially with Shopify, when you only get such a small amount of time to actually create your website, 3 days before they want you to start paying. So even though the first couple of months are $1 a month, okay, you actually have to pay for the whole year. So, so do that, have it ready, and then once you've got everything and you've relaxed and able to come back, you might have had a few orders, you might have seen a few things, come back and review it. So ensuring you've got your policies was a really, really important thing too. Next one is shipping. Now we have we've always had a little bit of struggle with shipping because we don't have a standard shipping. Well, we've got a couple of shipping sizes, but our products aren't a standard kind of size. Some of them are bigger, some of them are smaller. We have an A5 kind of bubble wrap bag. We use recycled plastic for these, and then we've got a larger kind of, it's not even A4, it's bigger than that. But that's for our larger mounts, and they cost different amounts with NZ Post. So what takes what? And you got to really work out how you're going to manage shipping. One thing that you could do, kia ora, David, thanks for chickening in. One thing you can do is you can add postage to your actual cost and then say all postage is free. Like the postage isn't free, it's built into the cost of the item. You're then going to have some people paying more than they should and some people paying less. The balance is that everyone thinks they're getting a good deal because they're getting free shipping. But we found that kind of difficult. It put our prices probably a little bit higher than what we wanted. But you don't want to lose out on shipping. So having a good think about shipping, how are you going to handle it? Is it going to be per item? Are you going to do it by weight? Now, what we ended up doing is by weight and not real weight, because a lot of our mounts don't weigh a huge amount. But we were able to kind of create 3 categories: up to half a kg, then at 1 kg is our second amount. So half a kg is anything that would fit into one single bag, one A5 size bag. 1 kg are for our bigger mounts that wouldn't fit into one of them, or it will fit 2 smaller ones. And sometimes 3. And then after that, we're looking at a box. And then, so that is a higher cost. What makes it harder is that our smaller packages cost less to ship, or cost the same to ship anywhere in New Zealand, okay? Except for rural. Rural's always an extra $5.50. But a box costs less to ship in the North Island than it does to the South Island, and it costs less to ship in Auckland than it does to other parts of the North Island. So you can set up, with Squarespace at least, we found out you can set up different zones. So you can set up like an Auckland region and then Northland, and so you can pick regions and choose what is the cost. And then we have a thing that if it's over $200, shipping is free. So yeah, shipping is something that you really got to think about and put some time into. And for us, we know our shipping costs, but it wasn't until we actually got into the website structure, into the Squarespace structure, and Shopify will be the same, but actually figuring out, well, how do we match what it actually costs us to the structure? How do we actually map that out? So shipping was a big one. Shipping took a long time, probably took a day to try and figure out how we were going to do it. I'll actually quickly show you how we've done it here. Products. Okay, so these are our products. I'm going to bring up. Okay. So here's I'll just pick an example. This one, if I edit that product, okay, I've got a description, photos, there's other stuff. We can put a price. Our stock's unlimited because we print to order. Okay. And then fulfillment. So fulfillment is the completion of the thing. And so we had to put in weight. So this is 0.5 kg. So anything that is 0.5 kg fits into one bag, and that's a set price. So that's how we've done it. So every single product has to have a weight. We don't worry about length and width and height, because that's a huge amount to try and sort out. So shipping. Actually, while we're here, other things that were useful. We have categories, but keywords. Thinking about keywords that are going to help the search engines drive people to this particular page. Because every page should have unique search kind of things in the background. And that's the next part of this, was search engine optimization. And that is huge. Okay. So to help with search engine optimization, SEO, Shopify have a section on SEO to help. Okay. Squarespace have a big section on SEO with essentials. There's a ton of videos on YouTube about SEO, but be careful, because they're all, or half of them are going to sell you a course about if you want to learn more about SEO. Okay. It's not that complex. All it is providing providing the right keywords and data that sits in the background that helps the search engines like Google and Bing know to bring your stuff to the forefront if someone actually searches stuff. So what you actually need is, a lot of it's in these help documents, but you absolutely have to have a Google account. Right? Google is the biggest search engine used by most people around the world. So to register your site with a search engine, you need an account with that site. So you have to have a Google account. Now, what you do is you come to, or you search for the Google Search Console, and you register your site with them. So here we've got our site, it's registered, okay? And then what it does is that you can do things like submit a sitemap. So a sitemap is automatically generated by your site that kind of lists every single page on your site. Okay? And Google will use that to crawl its search engine through and find out all the information about the site. And the cool thing is it then finds issues with any pages that it can't kind of get the information from. So if we have a look at pages, okay, we've got 72 indexed pages and 29 non-indexed. So these are some of our issues. So I can come into the non-indexed pages and actually find out, okay, why are these pages not indexed? Okay. And okay, not found 404. Okay. 16 pages. So I think I'll fix that. So I'll just get it to validate and fix. Okay. And see if it's found. But these are all the sites that it, pages that it hasn't found. Okay. Now, some of them are because I actually haven't, or I hadn't at the time, created products for those pages. So the pages weren't actually created automatically by Squarespace. So that's the Google Search Console. Another one is actually Bing, the Bing Webmaster Tools. And that's the same thing. You submit your site. Now, to get your site validated by Bing or Google, you need to have access to the domain, or you need to have access to put something in your site that only the person who owns a site would be able to do, so that you validate that you are the owner. And once you've done that, all of the stuff is delayed. So you're looking at data that's usually a day old, and sometimes older. So just remember, you're not looking at the most up-to-date data. You're looking at the last time it was crawled and when it has had enough time to get the information that it's showing. For instance, if we have a look, I think in our performance, okay, 3 months. Some of these will say, oh, countries. Oh, United Kingdom. Okay. My mate in Canada hasn't even visited my site. How rude. Okay. What pages have been visited? So we get all this information, but remembering that it's old. It's a day old usually. Okay. But really, really cool information when you want to see where's your traffic coming from, who's kind of visiting, where's most of it coming from, are you being searched? Because there's no point using your own account and searching for your site to see, oh, does it come up in the search? No, you got to use like something that doesn't have anything to do with you or what you'd normally search for. Okay, so Google Search Console, Google Analytics is another one. Let me go to Google Analytics. Okay, I've used this before. Marketing platform. Okay, sign into analytics. So I haven't actually done this part for my site. Okay, but here we want to create a property, and this is where we put our site name and everything in. And Google Analytics is another tool that helps Google find out who you are and why it should point people to your site. Okay. There's lots and lots of other little tools, and I think Squarespace's page has a really good page on that. So okay, cancel selling tools. Okay. So some really, really good information about that. And a lot of the stuff, even if you're not using a Squarespace site, you can still visit their help pages. Okay? And it's still going to be beneficial whether you use Squarespace, Shopify, Wix, or any other platform. It's going to be useful to you. Okay. Now, other little things, having all your icons ready, having all your logos ready in different sizes. If you've got someone that's designing your logos and that, ensuring they understand the requirements of websites in terms of sizes and formatting and all of that, so that you have all of that stuff. You don't have to keep going back to them. Okay. And so that includes an icon. So when you go to a website, usually you have, let's see, none of these are showing any icons, but a little icon up in the corner the little lock just says it's a secure site. But when you bookmark it, so let's bookmark that, favorites bar. I have a look at my favorites bar. Favorites. Okay. That's the icon that's showing on your favorites and stuff. So actually just having that helps with your search, helps people find your page. So it's all of these little things that you don't think about that actually support people finding your page on a search, and you want people to find you, obviously. So in comes Google AI Studio again, which is why we're here. Let's create a new chat. Okay. And I'm going to do the same thing. So exactly like I put before. Okay. Can you help me with the information I need, including text and keywords to maximize SEO? Let's fix that spelling, even though so it can help you with your search engine optimization as well. Now, what I found is that you actually do have to really go and adapt this. Okay, so but here, homepage, headline banner. So some options for headline banner, introduction paragraph. Okay. Keywords. Okay, resin jewelry New Zealand, handmade jewelry New Zealand, custom resin jewelry, resin earrings NZ, resin nexus. So let AI do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. Okay. Okay. Another one was social sharing icons. So ensuring you've got an icon for social sharing. So if someone comes to your page, oh, I like that, I want to share that product with somebody, so allowing them to share it. Right? Lots of other little things that you're going to find, like it's too much to actually talk about today, but there's the cookies and that, but they're often managed by your platform that you use. So you can just turn it on and then it will have all of the relevant data for that. And then spending a huge amount of time on your actual design and design. So back to AI Studio, which helped with our design. So I'm going to come to chat again. I'm going to grab our logo. I don't know why I wasn't going to do this, but it's actually a good thing. Logos. Okay. I'm going to drag our logo in there. Okay. Actually, I'll take that out because I'll do a logo that's got a white background. Okay. What? Oh, that one. No. Oh, they're all got a black background or transparent background. I'll do it anyway. Okay. This is the logo for a website I am using to sell wall mounts for Lego sets. create a color palette for my site using the colors in my logo and colors that represent fun and enjoyment. Okay. Okay, so it's given a number of different palettes and reasons for them. Okay. You may not like them, but okay, how do you know what exactly they look like? Let's actually come to, there's a few of these around. I just know that this one off the top of my head, Adobe Color. Okay, you don't need a account or anything, but I'm actually probably signed in. But I can come and set a color here. I'll do that. Change color to do. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to paste that color in. And I can paste all of these kind of colors into here. To see what they look like. Okay. I can change this to triad. What are the triad colors for this particular color? What are the complementary colors? Okay. Compound colors. Okay. So you can find out what those colors are and look like with a tool like Adobe Color. Or just go onto your website and play around with the theme. Another thing you can do with a tool like this is that you can actually upload a photo. Let me see if I can drag my logo in here because I didn't try this. Here we go. Here's a bunch of colors that work with that. Not the greatest, but let's change some of these. Okay, if I go to color wheel, okay, it's on custom. But I can come here and complementary. What are the complementary colors? But I want it brighter. And because of that, you've got the colors, these hash codes that you can use in your website. So once again, this probably comes down to the fact that you can spend money or time. And if you don't have money and you need to spend time, just using some of these tools to ensure that you're not spending a huge amount of time or you're maximizing your time for actually setting up the website, setting up the theme, uploading your products, making sure everything works is going to be really useful. So that's kind of it. That's the stuff that I've learned over the last week. There's probably more. As I said, our website's not fully up and running. But it's mostly there. I'm actually just going to post in the search engine optimization help sites from Shopify and Squarespace because it's helpful to read and just get an understanding of what's required in search engine optimization. It's probably one of the most hard to do or the most difficult to understand initially things, and then trying to get it right to maximize people's ability to search for you without having all kinds of words and word soup sitting on your web page that actually doesn't make any sense. So if you have any parts, please feel free to message me on our Facebook page, or you can email tutorial tour at twoa.ac.nz. And we keep an eye out on that email. Hopefully this has been useful. Now, next week is our last week of the year last week of the last session for the month. It's probably also going to be the last session for the year, just with how busy everything's going. So it's going to be a Q&A, and I've got some questions that people have asked me that I didn't get a chance to answer last time, but I've still got some space. If you have any partai, anything at all to do with technology or stuff like that, please feel free to, once again, email me. You can comment on one of these videos if you've got a partai. It can be about anything. And we will do that next week. Yeah. So thanks for joining us tonight. I'm glad we didn't spend a huge amount of time on this. Went a lot faster than I thought. Have a great long weekend. Be safe on the roads if you're traveling. Yeah. Have an awesome time with your whānau, and we will see you again next week. Ka kite, everyone. Let's look over here. You probably think I can hear the music, but I can't.